I asked people to ask me their questions related to hoops and healing, so let's get into the questions. Another anonymous question is, have you ever experienced periods of low confidence during your basketball career? If so, how did you get it back? Yes, absolutely. I would say I had the lowest confidence actually when I was playing at the highest level, which was in college. So I played Division III women's basketball in college. So growing up in my town, I was always the best player, right? Like everyone knew me in my town as like the star basketball player. But when I started playing AAU, which is a summer league for high schoolers, but the people who typically played AAU, at least when I was in high school, it was like the best players from every town. So the talent was just crazy, and it was a really humbling experience to be like, not only am I not the best player, like I might not even be third string anymore. And to put things into perspective, Jewel Lloyd is someone who played in the same AAU tournaments as I did. We grew up in neighboring towns, so I would often see her around a lot. So that was a really shocking and interesting experience, to say the least. And then when I played in college, I also just had low confidence both on and off the court. It was a really rough time for me, so I just don't think I mentally felt like I was good enough, and that was a problem. I also just didn't have much motivation to play. I had a really difficult experience playing in high school. My coach was really hard on us, and it definitely took a lot of the joy I had for the game away, which is a whole other story that maybe I'll share at another time. But just coming off my high school career, going into college, I was super unhappy and I didn't find basketball fun anymore. So that definitely affected my game. And unfortunately, I never really bounced back. I just stopped playing after that. But I did eventually find my way back to recreational teams and just playing pickup for fun again. But I actually think it's really common for athletes to go through low confidence periods, whether it's a mental battle, maybe it's injuries or just personal things getting in the way. But playing the sport is really hard. It's difficult. And it only gets harder with each level you go up. And that's why I have so much respect for the professional players. I don't have the same experience or haven't played anywhere near the same level as them, but I have a little bit of experience from my time playing that I can really just respect and be amazed at everything they accomplish, because there really is so much we don't see behind closed doors. The last question I have is also anonymous. So the last anonymous question is, when you get out of a long-term relationship, how long do you think someone should take to start dating again? So this is kind of like a dating advice question I wasn't expecting, but I guess it is related to healing, so I will answer it. I think this is completely subjective to everyone's own experience, right? One rule that is sometimes thrown around is divide the time you were together in half, and that's about how long it should take you to get over it, which I think is solid advice, but should be taken with a grain of salt at the same time. Like if you dated someone for 4 years, it would take you 2 years to get over them, or if you dated someone for a year, it should take you about 6 months. And again, I think this rule is fine, but I truly believe it just depends on each individual. For me, it depends how invested you were, how much did you see or not see a future with this person, did you talk about a future, or were you just kind of dating and not really having serious conversations or thoughts about the future? And you just have to be honest about how hurt you are from the relationship being over and giving yourself the time you need to bounce back. For example, if you kind of knew the relationship wasn't going anywhere, and maybe you don't need that much time, or if you weren't really into them. But if you were, then give yourself more time, as much time as you need. I also think if you are going through a breakup, you should also ask yourself if there's anything you need to work on regardless of a relationship before you get into another one, because oftentimes when we're in relationships, it holds a mirror up to ourselves about things that we need to work on. So I would think back to any of those moments and see if there's anything that you would need to work on. Otherwise, you're just going to be going through the same thing with the next person. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this episode, and you can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Hoops and Healing, as well as my personal account at amanda.mochi on Instagram, and I will link all of my handles in the description below. See you on the next episode.